There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking.
Hello and welcome to the Neat Glass sponsored Whiskey Tangent podcast, Whiskey Madness 2022, The Road to the Final Pour, a 4-week-long blind tasting tournament featuring 16 whiskeys from around the world. I'm Scott, and joining me as always is Ed.
Hey, everybody.
And once again, refereeing for us today, Gabe.
Yo.
And we're back again at the new mind-blowing Whiskey Tangent Arena shaped like a neat glass in enchanting downtown Marlton, New Jersey, where last time in round one, we saw the two number one seeds move on with only one upset and one tie, a stark contrast to the insanity of last year's events. But today, perhaps the drama will return because the crowd is simply frenzied with anticipation for round two, in which we're prepared to balance the books on the other side of the ledger, the 100 proof and 110 proof brackets. And as always, Ed's here to reveal which 8 new whiskey expressions will be warring today to make their Whiskey Madness wishes come true.
Thanks, Scott. So great to be here once again in the new Neat Glass Whiskey Tangent Arena. There isn't really a bad seat. Even up on the top where you think maybe you curve out, but nope.
And if you sit on the rim, you get all the alcohol.
Right, that's the problem. If you're on the rim, that's where all the alcohol diffuses right over you.
People like that, though.
Yeah, they get all buzzed up. So those who want to be
the ones that haven't fallen over yet.
That's right.
Off the edge of the rim.
Oh, yeah, don't fall backwards.
Right,
folks.
yeah.
There should be a fence up there. Well, next year,
They
we'll put a fence.
bought
I
their
think it's a
tickets.
railing.
They knew what they were getting into. I say let them fall.
All right, so 2 brackets. And Gabe has said that he thinks the winner of this year's tournament's coming from one of these brackets, which is a bold statement, but I can't argue with him. There are some amazing whiskeys and some up-and-coming upstart newbies.
Yes.
So in the 100 proof bracket, we have as a number 1 seed from our friends at Beam Suntory, Baker's Single Barrel.
Oh.
The most overlooked of the small batch expressions by us, but now here it is. The selection committee has saw fit to reward its perseverance with a number 1 seed in the 100 proof bracket, meaning 100 proof to 109.
Yes.
Number 2, the Pure Kentucky XO, never been featured by itself on the podcast. One of my all-time favorites from our friends over at
Will It?
The 3rd seed is a personal favorite of mine, and I'd lobby the selection committee to get in there. Redemption High Rye, but it's a single barrel. It's used for their store picks. They're all come in at 105 proof. And then the 4th seed will be the Broken Barrel Heresy Rye that we did feature on the podcast.
Yep.
And it is also coming in at 105 proof, which Scott told me not to do the proofs, but I'm doing it anyway because I don't follow his instructions.
I didn't say you couldn't. I just said you don't have to. You're a
get-
grown-ass man. You can do what you want.
That's right. So the 110 to 119 bracket, the number 1 seed, a little bit of a surprise, the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye.
Right.
Which is a cast strength thing, but like not really a cast strength. What Scott and Jeff would consider a cast strength. It comes in at a very, very drinkable.
Baby cast strength.
Like 112, 111, like that. The number 2 seed is the Old Ezra number 7, which has been used to make cocktails. We've never really featured it by itself, right?
Yeah.
That's at 114 proof. The Smokewagon Uncut Unfiltered, which we featured as a quick taste, and the selection committee said it's got enough hype to enter a bracket that is already stacked. And lastly, one of the best whiskeys I had this year for sure, the Lucky 7 Holiday Toast.
Yeah.
It's delicious. You might not have heard of Lucky 7 Holiday Toast, but that doesn't mean it's not a great whiskey. And it's not cheap. They're not giving it away.
No. Like $80.
Yeah, you want to bring your money with you, but you'll spend $80 on worse stuff than this. That's for damn sure. So
when I was going through the matchups, and pretty much every one is a traditional bourbon versus either a high rye bourbon or an actual rye.
Yeah.
So the selection committee kind of helped us out a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Even though these are really close in proof, their tastes might be a little bit different. But of course, when you taste things blind, you never know.
Right. Like the Redemption High Rye is 36%, I think, rye. That's a very high rye bourbon. That's a very high rye bourbon.
Right, it is, exactly. And Gabe, to Ed's point that he made earlier, and I think you actually said this on the preview, that you thought that one of the winners would come out of this. I don't want you to tell us which one just yet, because I think it might be fun for you to write it down. and then
Yeah.
we'll reveal it at the end. But your overall impression of these 8 whiskeys.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of good names here, obviously. I think the Smokewagon and the Lucky Seven, they could surprise people. And the Wild Turkey better watch itself.
Yeah.
Because being a number one, there's no guarantees in this at all.
And it's barely a rye, just for the record. It's 51% rye. It's not a high rye, if that makes sense to anybody, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not a 95.5.
It's got a great reputation, but, you know, if you're not careful, Lucky Seven could sneak up on you and shank you in the back and move on. And like I said, I have a couple of things I'm looking at, and I think they could really make it close to the finals.
And we're going to have you write it down before we have you go over to the preparation area and set up for the first matchup. And then we'll reveal it later. That'll be fun.
Okay, when is the Uber coming to pick me up and take me over there?
The Uber is coming now.
I got like the Hannibal Lecter dolly to just roll you over there and set you up.
Is it like the Atlantic City Jitney?
Yeah, jitney.
Doesn't cost me $1.
It's the tram car from Wildwood.
We're being local references to our national.
Watch the tram car, please.
Welcome to Wildwood. And don't worry about that half-mile walk to the water from the boardwalk.
Yeah, they stole all the sand from all of New Jersey. It's a fact.
We did. We planned big winter and fall storms to just rip all the sand from Sea Isle and Stone Harbor and throw it on our beach.
This is the kind of in-depth Jersey stuff that you get on our podcast.
Right.
The New Jersey Tourism Commission should give us a little kickback for all this
free
these
box of-
wonderful
Free bunch of saltwater taffy.
Exactly.
and fudge.
And fudge, yeah.
Let's
Saltwater
get some
taffy.
fudge.
They all look the same with like a blue or red stripe. You're like, I don't know what they
Right.
oh, I got lemon. Oh, I got licorice. No.
Oh,
You
this
start
tastes
crying.
like minty shit.
I got blue. This tastes like blue.
I lost the filling.
I lost the filling. Yeah. You got to watch out. It's like bit of honeys.
Oh, I love it. Honey.
All right.
Okay. time
So Gabe's going to catch his Uber or his Hannibal Lecter dolly and head over to the preparation area, and we're going to start round 2.
Get slow, and we gon' make it out this hole, and ain't nobody stopping us, no. So watch me as I go, watch me as I grow, and we ain't gonna take it slow, and we gon' make it out this hole, and ain't nobody stopping us, no. So watch me as I go, watch me as I grow, yeah, I'm the fucking shit.
We're back. Gabe is in the preparation area, pouring the spirits into our neat glasses, and I'm going to send it over to Scott.
Right, so it's Pure Kentucky XO versus Redemption Rye, and I'm going to tell you about the Pure Kentucky XO. It is seated second in this bracket. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon. Its mash bill is not disclosed. Its proof is 107. There's no age statement, but it's purportedly between 4 and 12 years. The price is about $50.
Yep.
Distiller bottler is Kentucky Bourbon Distillers, a.k.a. KBD, a.k.a. Willett, from Bardstown, Kentucky. The owner is the Colesveen family. Fun facts, although we didn't taste it on the podcast, we did discuss it on episode 14 when talking about its distillery mate, the delicious Willett Family Estate Rye. The 4-year, because we had tasted a bunch of Willett expressions during a tasting at the local lounge. And honestly, there really isn't a whole lot more to say about this because KBD is really secretive about everything that they do. And their website offers little more than the proof of the spirit and some tasting notes, which are cinnamon, toffee, caramel, pepper, oak, and spices. Going up against Ed.
We did Redemption Rye on our first podcast episode ever. And back then, I thought it was okay. And it's still okay. The price point is still very reasonable, like $27, $26. But we didn't drink it for years.
Sure.
Then Redemption came out with a 9-year and some other stuff, and the high rye, and a Caribbean rum finished one, and a weeded. I mean, so Redemption's really been trying to up their products. Mostly
9-year, a 10-year.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. So I've stumbled across a couple of the single barrels. This one's a Mount Ephraim from Canals, and it's got a mash bill of 60% corn, 36% rye. So when they say high rye, they're not kidding. This is about as high rye as you can be. High rye. Hi. And then the 4% malted barley. It's aged for about 2.5 years, so it's not very old, which is its criticism.
Wow,
which
okay.
is on average, it could be 3.
Sure.
The single barrel program features the best barrels selected by master blender Dave Carpenter. And like I said, comes in 105 proof. The flavor is supposedly going to be big, bold, plenty of rye spice, caramel, honey, corn, apple, and there's a pleasant sweetness as well as nutty notes. Now, someone else said it has a buttery flavor like Ritz crackers, like a buttery cracker flavor.
Wow.
And I saw another reviewer say that, he was put off by, you could taste the youthfulness of the whiskey.
Yeah,
So we'll see how that is. I would give the nod probably on paper to the XO. But in all the pre-tournament interviews, I've been telling how I think this has got a chance. It's going to have its biggest challenge of the week today.
It's got a chance, definitely, and at least for me, because I haven't had either of these expressions in
Right.
a long time.
Right.
And neither, in my memory, seems very distinctive.
Yeah.
So kind of how I always forget about how good Elijah Craig is until we have it again. So not remembering how they taste is actually a perfect way to start off a blind tasting. Gabe, if you will do the honors.
Okay.
And while you do that, have you had either of these?
No, I've had the Redemption regular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
Well,
is
like you said, a long time ago, and I know it's good, but I couldn't really give you a good tasting note on it. I do got to say one other thing. I am a little bit surprised about the rankings of these two.
Oh,
okay.
how dare you?
Questioning the bracketing. It's splitting hairs, and
Tell us what you would have done.
I think I would have put the Redemption at 1,
Really?
the Baker's at 2, and the Pure Kentucky at 3.
What did Baker's ever do to you?
Been out since '92. I mean, Booker No made it.
Named after Baker Beam.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to let you guys taste now,
No, just
and
wondering.
I want to see what you think
Well,
about
you have to give us Class B first.
No, if you're going to be this way about it,
We're just
you'll get
asking
nothing
why.
like it.
Okay, so the A to me had a very oaky scent to it.
A much more powerful nose too.
Yeah. And B had a very sweet cherry-like scent to it.
They are both really good in a different way.
I will say that Gabe made us dinner tonight, a delicious
Part of his
bacon
contract.
a delicious bacon-wrapped meatloaf. And tell the people why it was specifically bacon-wrapped
Because
meatloaf.
for some reason, I have this reputation of not being a bacon and or a meatloaf lover, and I don't have a problem with them. I just would like to have my arteries working for at least until my mid-70s.
This country is built on bacon. Okay.
I have nothing wrong
You
with
communist.
I have nothing against bacon.
Why don't you go invade Ukraine?
Oh!
This country is built on bacon, brother.
Let the pigs live, goddammit. What's wrong with a bowl of farina?
Oh, my God.
Cream of wheat, if you will.
Right, cream of wheat. That stuff is terrible.
It's like porridge.
All right.
But
maybe-
it's,
back to the matchup, everybody.
why we're here?
I don't know.
So, Scott, what are you getting? These are very different.
A smelled really oaky, but B tastes really oaky. And B smells really sweet. And A tastes sweeter than B to me.
Before I gave you the glasses, I was smelling them. I thought A was a little more sweet on the nose.
Maybe you switched them up. Maybe you fucked up, dude. I know, you brought us meatloaf. It was delicious.
And sweet potatoes.
But then he tried to start another controversy by not liking butter. Christ.
Enjoy this last podcast. I will not be making a return appearance.
Others can't make it next week, so you have to come over.
Cash always speaks.
We won't have butter. There will be no butter here.
Fuck your butter.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, thank God there's an edit button.
Guys, let's focus on what we're doing here.
I'm glad there was an ER on the end of that sentence. Man, do you have an idea who you're going to pick?
I do,
I
but
feel like I'm mixing these up. I'm adding a little bit of water on these.
it's interesting how both of these whiskeys I enjoy a lot by themselves, but today, going back and forth, there's something like a little bit off in the finish compared to the other one. I'm beginning to think that I know what they are now.
Okay.
You know nothing.
I have no idea. Okay. I've made my decision.
There was a little bit of a vinyl taste to A. B was smooth and sweeter. It was more consistent all the way through. So I think I made my decision based on that.
Well, I'm going to be drinking.
There we go. Not surprised.
It's a tie. Just from what Ed said.
Ed, you picked B,
Yeah. And I believe that was the Kentucky XO.
and you're wrong.
That's good.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
B was the Redemption High Rye.
Well, it's delicious.
And I picked A. I picked the Kentucky XO.
You picked the Kentucky XO.
Wow.
All the hypes that Ed was
No, I mean,
loving in the
both,
Kentucky.
these are two of my favorite whiskeys, but
Yeah, and what you were saying, the finishes on both of these weren't really great to me. And so when I took the time to do the crackers and the cleansing of the palate in between,
Yeah.
that's when I thought A tasted better overall than B.
I just had a little bit left in both. B is a clear winner today for me.
Wow.
Gentlemen,
All right.
we're going to overtime.
Overtime.
All right, Ed has poured A and B, possibly not the same A and B that
Right.
was poured before for Gabe, and Gabe is going to make his decision.
The pure Kentucky XO, which is what Scott picked. I picked the Redemption High Rye, and Gabe's going to get his chance to break the tie. Here's your A, and here's your B. Gabe's nosing them.
Well, right off the bat, A is a very lot more dense on the nose. B is quite a bit sweeter, which, you know, it is what it is, but it doesn't mean it's going to taste that way. Oh, the B glass, just I took another sniff, and it's brown sugar or something. It was a very confectionery sweetness to it all of a sudden. Oh, God.
It's rubbing my nipple over here. Wow. It's been like 2 minutes since I drank. I feel jealous. I want to get over there.
Say more, Gabe.
Oh, Glass A is a nice even creaminess to it. Not harsh, not bitter. Doesn't really burn down the throat.
Okay.
And B was sweet, but it had a little bit of an antiseptic astringency to it.
Maybe vinyl or latex, like I said.
Yes, as you were describing.
It's
Yes,
funny that you picked that up.
yeah. There's almost like an artificialness to it. It's not bad. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
right. It's not bad. It's just there.
I'm going to put a little bit of water in each couple drops and
Yeah, absolutely, I would.
see where we stand on that.
Sure. I mean, I think that you have to say that the Kentucky XO with Willett and the history of that distillery,
Yeah.
and the Redemption being kind of an upstart label, I think that a win here would be a huge victory for the Redemption label.
Oh, absolutely.
And over Willett, who's done pretty well in the Whiskey Madness.
Well, with a couple drops of water in each, I think the B glass seems to have gotten a little bit more harshness to it. Somehow. You think it would proof down, but it's actually gotten a little more heat.
Water opens up all types of flavors.
Right. Maybe it was proofed where it should have been, and when you added water, it proofed it down to a level that brought out some off notes.
And A, with a little bit of water, has just kind of kept it where it was.
Oh.
And it's a very even, very delicious taste.
Sounds like you're ready to pick.
I think I am. Yeah. I'm going with A.
A, and A is...
Redemption High Rye.
Fuck!
The upset.
Woo!
The upstart brand, Redemption High Rye. And in a defense of Kentucky XO, this is a single barrel picked by the master blender specifically from his favorite barrels. So I think that it's not knocking Willett. We got a hold of a special barrel from Redemption, a High Rye bourbon, and it's really performed well today.
And in keeping with the Whiskey Madness tradition, I got outvoted again.
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of Willett. I've liked their products over the years, and until like last week, I didn't realize that Kentucky XO was a Willett family product. But in this particular instance, I think the Redemption was a bit tastier.
This is exactly why we taste these things blind.
I mean, Scott does have a very unique palate, but I don't think that means he's different than the people listening. If you bring Jeff in, his palate's much different than ours.
Yeah.
Andre's palate's very different. If you bring Sue in, she'll be asleep right now. But her palate's way different, and Siobhan's palate's way different. So when you start putting people around,
It's true.
So that's what's great about the podcast. You got so many outside sources coming in with the different opinions, different taste buds, and it makes it a wonderful experience.
well, I mean, it helps a lot to have other opinions, and it gives us different perspectives on things. All right, so Redemption High Rye will go on into the next round, and now get ready. When we come back, Gabe will return to the preparation area for Baker's Single Barrel against Broken Barrel Heresy Rye.
Will not remain nameless. I'm the type of dude who is headed for greatness. I'm the type of dude who could really make changes. Cause I'm the type of dude that's becoming contagious. I'm the type of dude that will always be ageless. I'm the type of dude that will always feel shameless. I'm the type of dude that they say is fucking heinous. Cause I'm the type of dude that you know is fucking dangerous.
Okay, we are back, and Gabe is going to pour the Baker Single Barrel versus Broken Barrel Heresy Rye, but before he hands them to us, Ed's going to tell us about Heresy Rye.
We were lucky enough to catch up with the owner of Infused Spirits and Broken Barrel Whiskey Company and talk to him. And his concept, what it is they break up barrels and put the staves into the tanks of whiskey that have been dumped to add extra flavor. And so this particular one, we're doing the Heresy Rye. It's a little young. They only promise like a year. They're like, it's a year and then maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but,
maybe 2.
It's 105 proof. It's distilled in Owensboro, Kentucky. It is sourced, bottled in Las Vegas, and finished with broken stays of French oak, ex-bourbon, and ex-Oloroso sherry barrels. And they're saying, we know this is not traditional. I know this is not normal. In fact, it could even be heresy, and that's where the name comes from. The fact that they're using used barrels in the finishing process.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's 95.5, but it's distilled in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Right. It's not the MGP 95.5. Right.
But it is 95% rye, 5% malted barley, caramel, vanilla, dark cherry, some baked apple, and rye. An odd sweetness and viscosity. Surprisingly oily and chewy in the mouth. Gabe will like that. Oily mouthfeel.
Try not to say that too many times.
They owe Gabe $1 for that. This is, I never really was able to encapsulate that until Gabe said it. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm feeling too.
I've currently moved on to it has a nice viscosity.
This has nearly teeth coating. Caramelized apple skins, orange, spicy grains, cinnamon, and even Twizzlers noticed on the finish.
Yes.
And we'll see if this is going to be good enough to upset a perennial champion in Baker's.
Baker's Single Barrel is a single barrel Kentucky straight bourbon. Its mash bill is 77% corn, 13% rye, 10% malted barley. Its proof is 107. Its age is 7 years. Its price is at least $60. The distiller bottler owner is Beam Suntory. Fun facts, we featured it and its now defunct former version, the Baker Small Batch, way back in episode 29, just as the transition from small batch to single barrel was happening. It ranked 16th on Whiskey Advocate's top 20 whiskeys in 2019 with a score of 93. And here's the coolest part that I just discovered. So you can get info about the barrel in your bottle by typing the serial number on the bottle into a page on their website. So I typed in 000154918.
Yep.
And you're told to scroll your mouse in order to roll a virtual barrel through a dark rickhouse with info popping up every so often. It's really fucking cool. And this is what it said. The barrel was stored at Claremont campus in Warehouse J, floor 4, rack 42. Wow. The barrel was filled in May 2014. The hottest day that the barrel endured was 98% Fahrenheit and 100% humidity. Wow. The coldest day that the barrel endured was -5 degrees Fahrenheit and 9% humidity. The barrel was dumped on August 2021 for a total of 7 years and 3 months. The tasting notes, single barrels, of course, differ. So I took a bunch of them together and kind of mashed them into one. Their common characteristics, and they were oak, dark fruit, caramel, peanuts, baking spice, honey, raw corn, vanilla, fresh brownies, and leather. Now, even though they're number 1 seed, and even though they've been around as a brand since the early 90s, I feel like Baker still has something to prove. Despite being a delicious whiskey, it's not really a sought-after brand, still, after all these years. In fact, our whole episode 29 was about how we, along with everybody else, has been ignoring it for decades. And Beam Suntory knows it, because why else switch from a small batch to a single barrel and completely update your bottle and your labeling, if not to stir up some kind of renewed interest? So this is no complacent number 1 seed resting on its laurels, Ed.
No.
They're just as hungry as the much younger Broken Barrel entry with its rye mash bill and fancy oak stave finishing. And they're not here to be ignored.
I think that they have a lot to prove, and for no reason, by the way, because I've never, ever sipped a glass of Baker's where I was like, this is just okay.
Right.
It's a delicious whiskey. I have no idea with the way things catch fire in the whiskey industry and the whiskey consumers. Yeah. I have no idea why Baker's has been slept on so much. It has grown in price. So does that mean the interest has gone up? I'm not sure. It's always been consistently $60. It's never been cheap. Yeah. But now I see it a lot more for 70, 75, which I'm not understanding, because are they making less of it? I don't know. Because it's single barrel? I don't know. But it should blow Heresy Rye off the table. Heresy Rye is a year old. It's got some cool finishing notes, but this is Baker's. This is made by Booker No. This is made by a juggernaut of Beam Suntory. Yeah. This is Notre Dame playing like Mount Union. You know what I mean? Right. Ball State. Exactly. This should not even be a contest. But Seth and the boys at Broken Barrel Whiskey Company and Fused Spirits, they're ready for this battle. Seth has already proved to be a magician. He's won so many awards, in not just the whiskey arena, but in vodka and other things as well. He's fearless. Yeah. But the fact that we're even giving them the time of day makes Baker's irritated. They're so tired of being overlooked and much maligned compared to their distillery mates that they want to get out there and put like 60 points up. You know, they want to blow the doors off right in the first half.
I can see Freddie No sitting over on the other side of the bench.
Right.
And Seth is sitting there like Mark Cuban right on the floor, pointing at each other.
They're all like, we know what Booker knew. So they know, you know, the signs are up on the wall. This is going to be an interesting one, and Gabe's got he pouring them off. Have you poured them yet?
Yeah.
I poured them, yeah, but
All right.
I got a couple thoughts
No, I
myself.
want to hear. Sure, Gabe. What do you think of this?
Obviously, Baker's has.
All right, that's good. So, Scott, now that we
back to you, Dick. Baker's has that reputation, but I think with that, the price point really does turn people off. And having said that, with the matchup going with infused, I remember you did the infused spirits, about a year ago?
Last summer.
Okay,
Yeah. And I remember listening to it. I was like, wait a minute, that sounds very familiar.
You have a bottle of it.
I had bought the bourbon and the rye because I read about him. I believe it was in Whiskey Addict. Because I read about him.
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, that's a great concept.
and how
It's
cheap
so-
are they? I got the cast strength at Benash for like $31.
I
they're super cheap.
think even before that they were
Yeah.
both in the high 20s. But I was very impressed with the taste of it. It was
because
very
of
good.
the barrel
Right.
stave.
The staves simulate the aging process.
It really
Yes,
does work.
yes.
All
Okay.
right, so let's get them over here, Gabe. A and B.
Handing over A.
All right.
Handing over B. They weren't ready for it, but I'm giving it to them anyway.
No, it's fine.
You'll take it,
Wow.
and you'll like it.
I'm swirling.
We're swirling our neat glasses, and
Yep.
my God, I almost spilled it.
Don't do that.
Oh, A is a really nice nose.
They are really working this one.
Oh, B is
I
delicious.
think Scott just
In the
made-
nose.
I think Scott just made a mess in his pants.
I think just from the nose, I know which is which.
Wow.
But
You think?
I can't make
right.
I'm nowhere near to doing that.
I think
Break out the saltines.
A is so. Oh my gosh, so much cinnamon on A.
I know.
All right, I'm going to need more.
No, you'll get nothing and like it.
Wow, Gabe is not like Anders.
Wait. No, I don't.
Oh, you don't.
Oh.
You've made it your decision.
I mean,
Okay.
Something just hit Ed. Moment of clarity.
Man, both of these are really nice, but I think I have also made my decision.
The moment of truth.
All right, I have handed in my selection. Gabe, was it a unanimous decision?
No, it wasn't. We have another tie. and
Damn it,
I
Ed.
Get the drink again. Ed picked B. Scott picked A. B was
The Heresy.
the Heresy.
Wow.
A was Baker's.
Yeah.
Honestly, just took the sip of B and had like buyer's remorse over here. I think I put mine in a little too quick. I reacted to something. I'm not happy with myself right now, but I stand by what I did. I stand by what I did.
All right, so we're going into overtime. All right, Ed has poured the glasses for Gabe.
So, first of all, I was pouring them, and then Gabe asked me a question, and I got distracted. I forgot which I poured into both glasses, so I have to drink them and make new glasses for Gabe.
Right.
Oh, woe was me.
How did that happen? Oh,
Damn.
So I'm passing over the A to break this tie. I chose the Heresy Rye. Scott chose the Bakers. I'm embarrassed. But, I'm not really, Seth, because you make an amazing product. And today, Heresy Rye was the winner for me.
but I was surprised
That
because
I...
Ed chose a rye and I chose the bourbon.
That's right.
That's not like you guys.
No,
All right.
Well, A's got a very nice, even,
Yeah.
caramely vanilla nose. The nose on B is a little bit thin. Tasting A, it's got a nice little bit of heat to it. Very, not basic, but
It's got some body to it, yeah.
yes, it does.
add some water to it if you want.
I can't believe we still have 4 more whiskeys to taste after this.
I know,
Thank God we have a meatloaf base.
right? Meatloaf and sweet potatoes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Putting some water in both of them. The A has kind of kept its basic overall taste. The B has the flavor seems to have ebbed away just a slight bit.
Sounds like you made a decision.
I think I'm going A.
Hey, and A was.
Bakers.
Wow.
So,
Give it up,
the
Gabe.
number 1 seed moves on with a little bit of a challenge from my taste buds.
A little bit. I think that it was just the youthfulness of the spirit, despite its stave finishing, that just doomed it against the much older Baker single barrel.
Right. The Heresy is showing its youthfulness.
It's a youthful whiskey.
And, it wasn't far off, but obviously the experience shows through.
I don't know what's going on with me today. I picked a high rye bourbon and a rye over 2 of my favorite bourbons. So I don't know what to tell you.
Opposite day.
It's opposite day. It's like up is down. Left is right.
Cats and dogs sleeping together.
After a close call, Bakers have moved through.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back for Old Ezra number 7. First, Smokewagon. Uncut. I mean, it just gets better and better.
I said I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I dropped this, turning back the clock to rock shit. I cop it, the knock knock, I'm on this. I'm hot bitch, like a hot bitch, the top I lock in, I got this, radio drop this. Hot shit, just watch this, I fucking promise. So lit, do not miss your chance to cop this. Will you capture it, or just let it slip?
All right, we're coming back in. We just got done halftime, and it was amazing. We saw the blimp that looks like the upright bass flying around
The cello.
the arena.
No, wait, I think it is an upright bass.
I think it is an upright bass.
It's kind of funny because, like, the way it's flying, it's not very aerodynamic, but
No.
you know, it's a lovely.
Who would ever make an upright bass
Well, let me
blimp?
tell you who it is, Ed. It's Ricardi'sViolinShop.com.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Second generation skilled craftsman who is incredibly gifted in his work. Learned everything from his father.
Oh, the sponsor of the Whiskey Madness.
Exactly.
Oh.
Ricardi's Violin Shop.
We forgot.
I've known him for a good 45 plus years, and he's an amazing guy.
Yes.
And,
Rob is a nice dude.
if you have needs, your stringed wood instruments,
Or, yeah.
look him up.
Yep. He's an expert on wood, from what I understand. He's a wood expert.
He knows his wood.
He knows his way around some wood.
So we're going to bring it back to Ed, and he's going to tell us about our next matchup.
Yeah.
Go
Right.
ahead.
So we have Old Ezra number 7, Barrel Strength, versus the ever popular up and coming Smokewagon, Uncut, Unfiltered. It's almost like
The South Park movie?
No, like kind of like a
Camel cigarettes?
non-Jewish
Chocolate
whiskey.
babies?
An uncut whiskey. It's like it's not circumcised. It's like
Oh.
a Gentile whiskey.
I see. Uncut. I see.
Uncut, unfiltered.
Kind of coming out messy.
Yeah, it's dribbles.
Right. So I mean, I've always been
Sorry.
been a big fan of Old Ezra number 7, but my God, the Smokewagon was so delicious. This is going to be such a nightmare for me because
Yeah.
both of these are in my wheelhouse. Old Ezra number 7, Barrel Strength, from our friends at Luxco. It's won 17 proof, aged 7 years, 78% corn, 12% malted barley. More malted barley than the 10% rye. So it's a really interesting mash bill. It should be around $40, but it's usually around $75. I had a tragedy happen this summer where I was traveling with it and I broke an entire bottle of the Old Ezra, which I had paid. I had paid
Yes.
$69 for it.
remember.
And I literally sat down in a pool of whiskey. My face smacked down in it, slurping, spitting out the broken glass, crying.
Like Nancy Kerrigan when she got galoolied.
So luckily I was able to go out to like Wegmans that week and find one for MSRP for like $59. It was like the whiskey gods shined down upon me and found me a bottle.
St. Pappy.
So it's a very traditional bourbon. The palate's going to be surprisingly lively.
Ooh.
So they say it's a burst of flavor ranging from sweet fruit to rich caramel to spicy oak. Its heat can get in the way sometimes, but with the neat glass, we never have to worry about that because the alcohol is brilliantly diffused.
Brilliant.
Finish should be oak, spice, and dark cherries that ride out to its natural conclusion. I like the way they put that. I don't know what that means, but I love it.
Yeah.
Now entering the arena is our friend and lovely commentator, Siobhan.
Siobhan brings us water to hydrate and usually like M&M's or something fun.
But this time, I brought my own microphone.
Is that Mr. Microphone?
I have no idea. I got it off of Amazon.
Oh my God. Is this what you do all day? You torture your cats with Mr. Microphone?
Oh my God. Wait, come here and do it.
It looks like, did you
Wait.
bedazzle it too?
Wait, do your microphone on the microphone. What does that sound like?
This is what it sounds like.
When did God get here?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's like
my
a
God.
higher power screaming down on us. Would you just get on with the recording
She
already?
finally figured out that I mute her for half the episodes that she's on. I bring my own mic and power system.
That's classic.
Okay, So the old Ezra is going up against the Smokewagon Uncut, Unfiltered in the 110 to 119 category. It is a high rye barrel proof Kentucky straight bourbon. Its mash bill is 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley. It is MGP's high rye bourbon mash bill. Its proof is a 113.92. There's no age statement, but it is purportedly a blend of 4, 6, and 10-year bourbons. Its price is around $70, maybe a little higher. The distiller is MGP in Lawrenceville, Indiana. The blender bottler owner is the Nevada H&C Distilling Company in Las Vegas. Fun facts, we featured this on a short last summer with Ed's work buddy Joe. The whiskey is sourced from MGP, but then it's aged for some time in the Nevada desert, which experiences a lot of hot days and cold nights, accelerating the aging of the spirit in a shorter amount of time. We have batch number 50, which was bottled on March 15th, 2021, and their current batch is 131. So they're putting out these batches like fucking crazy.
So actually, the bottle we're using today is the one that Siobhan gave me as a present.
Oh, that's why it's so long ago.
Came out of the vault.
All right. So its tasting notes are light, creamy caramel and dry oak, transition to a swirl of heavy rye, spice, green peppercorn, aged oak, and vanilla. So this is the same high rye bourbon mash bill as the Redemption that just won in our first matchup in this round. And I'm just wondering if that result will be duplicated here as it's going against a more traditional heavy corn bourbon profile. The only thing that makes me hesitate on that is the additional intense aging and blending that I don't believe goes into the Redemption. So we'll see if that helps or hinders it. Gabe, please hand us the glasses.
Don't you care what I have to say about these
I
two?
was gonna say, I thought you were going to say, Gabe, what do you think of these two?
I really have no opinion. It's going to be a coin flip. Back to you.
I mean,
He made a whole fucking point of like talking that just says nothing. You bitch.
this is, I mean, like I said, there's a high rye bourbon and there's a bourbon. But,
Right.
But I've shown no consistency at all today. So
Actually, you've shown a preference for the rise.
I have had the Smokewagon base expression, and I wasn't overly impressed. But I know this is different, and it's the higher proof.
Yes.
It's way different.
It really is. It's night and day between their base expression and the Uncut.
Now, the old Ezra has, do they not have a bottled and bond expression?
I don't know. Do they?
I can't remember if I've had an old
I feel like
Ezra.
Gabe's like, I've had chocolate, I had peanut butter. I don't think I'll like Reese's. It's like, I've been there.
There's an Ezra Brooks, which I think is their base
That's their basic-
expression.
right.
Yeah.
I might have had that. That's
Yeah.
where
Right,
I'm
There's
throwing
Ezra
a little
Brooks
confusion on
99.
myself.
There's Ezra Brooks 99, which is a little bit step up. Then there's the old Ezra 101.
I think I had that. I think that's the one I had, the 101.
They're very similar on the nose.
a 117 proof versus a, what was it?
Oh, it's like
A high 113.
113.92.
So we'll round it up to the old 114.
Yeah. Don't you think they smell similar,
My
Ed?
God, they taste similar too. This is going to be a fucking nightmare.
no.
This is why I stayed out of this one. I really think these are really
You
similar.
did say it would be a coin flip.
This is a fucking nightmare.
The color, even when I noticed them beforehand, I didn't get much distinction between the two of them.
Ooh, A is really nice.
No, it's not.
I feel like I say that about every whiskey. Yeah. It's really nice.
You might have a problem.
I like whiskey.
The problem is
Sorry.
after we don't drink for 5 minutes, we miss the burn in our chest. We're like, oh, there it is.
I think it's cracker time
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to burn your throat again.
because my liver is weeping. Somewhere Simon and or Garfunkel are turning over in their graves, although they're not dead.
Right. I think they're both still alive.
I think so.
They are. Well, I mean, Simon's career is probably still alive. I don't know.
Yeah, Garfunkel, not so much.
Garfunkel's in the park somewhere. Anybody want to hear me sing Sound of Silence again?
Thank God Disturbed did a cover because I can live for another year.
Right.
Oh, my God.
As long as he wrote that. Or else Simon's like, ching.
Yeah.
No, I think Simon wrote all the songs.
I don't think so, Art.
He's out there busking with...
Carrot Top.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Oh, my God.
The Has-Been Tour of Vegas, the residency.
There's no reason we should have to choose between these two.
These are both fan-fucking-tastic, and they taste so fucking similar.
Oh my
It's
God.
stupid.
Have you
It's stupid.
Have you proofed them with water?
Okay, that's a very good point.
Have you tried crackers?
Have you tried filtering them through Marilyn Monroe's panties?
I'm not sure why my voice suddenly took the tone of NPR.
I don't know.
Have you tried my chocolate sweaty balls?
Your crusty muffins. Betty White, rest in peace.
Moment of silence for Betty White. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really don't care which one goes through.
Honestly, I don't think the water helped. Like, it didn't make it taste better to me.
It doesn't always do that. Both of the tiebreakers I did tonight didn't really alter my decision.
I liked them before I put the water on, and now it ruined them both in the same way.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Yeah, Ed's asking for more.
Oh my God. I think he gave me more than he gave me originally.
Gabe's got plans for Ed.
Siobhan might be taking over for the next round. Can we just shut it off? Can we pause? Can someone help me?
Oh my God. You are getting sloppy. What is happening with you?
These are so similar. Tell me you're not struggling right now.
I am, but I take smaller sips.
And you don't ask for seconds.
Right.
That's right.
Heavy seconds.
Heavy Seconds is Ed's high school nickname.
Heavy seconds.
I don't even know what it means.
It kind of writes itself.
All right, yeah. Let's be serious for a second and try to determine what we were tasting on these to see if we can determine any difference. Because right now I can't taste any difference.
Get it together, man.
There is a difference.
Decide.
All right. I'm better. Thank you for slapping me, Gabe.
Yes, that's why I'm here. I'm the voice of reason, somehow.
Yeah, somehow that happened.
Which isn't me at all.
I have to tell you, I just drank A.
Yeah.
Drank some water, drank B. I feel like I drank the same fucking whiskey. I swear to God, I cannot detect enough differences between these two. God damn it.
Yeah. I honestly can't choose. I'm just going to flip a coin. Like Gabe said.
This is the closest one in 3 years of whiskey madness that I've had to deal with.
No, I agree.
I think you said it about 2/3 of the time.
We do say it a lot.
No, not as bad as this.
Wow, really?
B is less sweet on the initial. It has sweetness in the middle. And it kind of tapers off kind of fast.
It's definitely more spicy.
B is spicier. Okay.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Are you ready to make your decision, Ed?
Wake up, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly could have gone either way. It was that close. I went on which one I thought was more complex.
That ended up being my decision as well. Okay. I thought the one I chose was more complex.
Okay, I'll do both. We have a unanimous decision.
Oh, shit.
Both Ed and Scott chose B.
And B was...
Old Ezra number 7.
Ooh, old Ezra coming through with a close victory over the upstart Smokewagon.
Really close. And I remember the selection committee having problems seating these guys, but eventually they was like, we can't figure out if these are 2 or 3. But then somebody said, well, it doesn't matter because they're going up against each other either way.
Right. Yeah.
Old Ezra was a number 2, and it's not an upset, but it's a mild surprise.
Yeah.
Wow. It was a battle.
Totally agree.
It's one of my favorites. I think people knew. Back when it was 45 and you can get it every day, I talked about it and I liked it. And now it's 75 and I don't drink it as much.
Well, as close as it was, Ed and I both chose it. Yeah. So moving on.
And I mean, the Smokewagon on another day probably could have won. And it's almost like if this was the March Madness, it would have been like 3, 2, 1. Old Ezra the shot and went in. Old Ezra clips it at the buzzer. Oh,
buzzer beater.
Unbelievable, baby. So that's amazing. I mean, honestly,
wow,
guys,
what a matchup. That was great.
The reality is they're both incredibly overpriced right now. So I think the old Ezra dips a little bit lower. If you can find the old Ezra for 60, there's your bargain of the two.
Yeah, I think so.
And now we're going to go take a quick break. Then we'll be back
with a marquee matchup.
The top seed, Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye against the Lucky 7 Holiday Toast.
Be right back.
Yeah. We're just getting started. I know that you want it, baby. Just get on it, ready to go. We know how to party. Pull out the Bacardi, feel it in my body. Put on a show. Yeah, let's go. Nah, we ain't never gonna slow down. All the girls looking hot like a hoe down. Everybody going off in my hometown, ready for a showdown. Keep it on the low now. We about to pop off like a bottle. Everybody knows that we're going full throttle. Drinking alcohol, yeah, straight from the nozzle. End of the night, end up horizontal.
And we are back after an extended break. The last matchup that we have in today's tournament in round 2 is the Lucky 7 Holiday Toast, the 4 seed, going against what Ed is going to tell us about, the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye.
Right, it's a straight rye. It's barely a rye. All right, I'm saying that because it's 51% rye,
Right.
it's 37% corn, and it's 12% malted barley for its mash bill.
Just meets the legal qualifications.
For a cask strength, it's reasonably priced at around $60, which is pretty consistent.
Yeah,
All right,
pretty good.
Breaking Bourbon said a compelling patchwork of flavors that led by lemon and burnt caramel, black pepper, clove, grass, menthol in tow.
Ooh.
All right, it keeps your attention with its boldness and works well overall. There's a slight creaminess and a degree of complexity to it that helps elevate it, but at the same time, wow, the whiskey struggles to be memorable. So
Interesting.
I think that's interesting. That
It
basically
is.
calls it a basic pitch.
Damn.
At the very end there. And then the finishes.
Okay.
Spice quickly ramps up, downplaying the whiskey sweeter side. All right.
Okay.
Which is a bit cinnamon rolls. Also black pepper, nutmeg, charred oak. Some dryness. Also creeps in and lingers longer than you want it. It's a quality rye that drinks well with a finish that unfortunately drags it down.
Wow.
You know, like the girl at a party that just tells you about her life longer than you care about. Like, oh, my father really left us when we were 10. And, you know, it's like, dude, I'm just trying to have a beer, you know, hoping the keg doesn't kick too early.
Was it like Cecily Strong
Yeah.
on Saturday Night Live? The girl you met at a party.
So Wild Turkey has made an effort recently to improve on its rye products. I mean, for a long time, the Wild Turkey 101 was all you had. But now, you know, they have the Wild Turkey 80 rye, which I suggest you don't ever drink.
No, don't drink that.
Unless you're homeless or life has taken a bad turn for you.
Or homely.
Or homely.
We spoke about that earlier.
No, you can be rich and homely, so that's not true.
True.
Russell Reserve 6-year rye,
And
which
or.
is very good, and the Russell Reserve single barrel rye. So anything with the word Russell in front of it is probably not a bad day for you.
Yeah.
All the Russell products that I've had have drank pretty well.
Yeah. Agreed.
So praise should be given to the Russells for their consistency with their products, but it's also a double-edged sword because there isn't a lot of variation between them. Proof is the main differentiator. What is this word right here?
Differentiators?
Differentiator.
Differentiator.
So it's going to be a huge expression, but my concern is it's going against a complete unknown, which we have experience with, and we think it's quite formidable. Scott, what are we dealing with here?
We are dealing with the Lucky 7 Holiday Toast, ranked 4th here because it's so unknown.
Yeah,
as
it's unknown.
Ed said. Its category is a double oak bourbon. The mash bill is not disclosed. Its proof is 115. There is no age statement, but it is purportedly between 6 and 12 years. The price is about $80. The source distiller is from Kentucky, possibly Barton's, but undisclosed. Wow. Fun facts, we featured this on our most recent Christmas Eve short with Sue and Siobhan, and we all really loved it. It's won numerous awards and has a 91 rating from Whiskey Advocate. The tasting notes are full-bodied,
Like Ed.
Like me.
with notes of toffee, toasted marshmallow, dark fruit, and charred oak, and finishing with a long crescendo of cinnamon, spice, and gingerbread.
Crescendo.
So funny story, Lucky 7 ended up making it into the tournament only at the very last minute.
Last minute, yeah.
Because the selection committee was waiting until we had tasted 2 expressions on the podcast before making the ultimate decision. And the spirit that ended up being relegated was the Pinhook Vertical 6-year, which, spoiler alert, will be releasing as a bonus short right after the tournament
Yes.
is over. And although I was a little sad that I couldn't drink this expression, the Lucky 7, again for 2 months because we had to put it in the vault, I feel they made the right choice because although the Pinhook 6 is a really nice expression, it's really only interesting as an experiment in seeing how aging affects a single bourbon over time. But the Lucky 7 is just an extraordinary blend. And I really think, Ed, the point you made in our special preview 2 weeks ago about the rare breed being the most vulnerable of the number ones, the Wild Turkey team is really going to have to bring its best stuff today if it wants to move on.
As crazy as it is for how long they've been their underrated distillery.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I mean, the Wild Turkey Rye or Bourbon 101s are like 6 or 7 years old, and they're 101 proof for $27. You can't go wrong for them.
You can't go wrong.
Like,
That's
you can live
always
there.
a go-to.
You can buy both of them and live there the rest of your lives. You can make drinks with them. You can just pass out in your car with them. They're there for you every day of the week.
Yeah, and I just picked up a Russell's Reserve bourbon about 3 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
I'm in love with the bottle. I've never had it before, and all the hype you guys brought to the table about them, it's delicious.
Okay.
Yep.
Gabe, let's finally taste these so we can go to bed.
All right, handing over a glass A.
We're going to bed in 3 hours. Well, they are. I'm going to fall asleep in an hour and 10 minutes.
I got to say, while Scott and Ed are nosing these two, this one is going to be another hard battle because having listened to the Lucky 7 podcast, you were just nutting all over this
We were.
Lucky 7.
We
You
were.
loved this one to death.
We were.
It was a great bottle, and you just couldn't say enough about it.
It was a great night. We had the ladies here. I mean, it was just a nice night.
You were drained and you were spent. Having done that podcast, it was a wonderful one. It was very educational, but there was a mess to clean up afterwards.
Thank God you can cut all of Gabe out, and just, if you could just like cut and paste Anders in from from previous Whiskey Madnesses.
This is the thanks I get for all my hard work.
Thanks for the meatloaf. You took the words right out of my mouth. It must have been when you were kissing me. Let's focus on the whiskeys. We got both of them.
Ed, I just got to say one more thing. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
God. The man is dead, for Christ's sake.
I loved him. Ed, Meatloaf was awesome. I saw him live. He was great. Very theatrical.
What's going to be, Gabe? Me or Scott? Let me think on it.
Baby, let me drink on it.
Can we focus on the whiskey, please?
Well, I'm trying to fill dead air while you fuckers are drinking.
Damn it.
Sorry, was that overly harsh? I'm sorry.
Wow. Both of them are really oaky. Like,
How is it possible that it tastes so? I give up.
this is really weird. What I'm tasting here in both of these whiskeys is very, very strange.
Ed's going for crackers.
How is the
Scott's
Lucky
going for
7
water.
so rye?
Well, one's a double oaked.
Right. We don't know the mash bill of the Lucky 7. It is not disclosed.
Personally, I'm hoping for a tie because I want to do a tiebreaker. I really want to taste both of these.
Have you ever had either of these?
I think I've had the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. I might have tasted the Lucky 7 at your place, too.
Oh, you might have. Oh, okay. So I put a little water in them. Both of them taste delicious now. Like, they don't taste as harsh as initial. And I'm not really sure why either of them tasted harsh initially. And
Okay, look-
I have a gnat
Look how angry I'm
one of mine, and I'm trying to get the gnat out of it.
That. Well, that's not going to affect the taste profile.
Probably not.
I'm tasting wings.
Tasting thorax.
What am I, more B?
Yep. I can't believe how well the Wild Turkey is holding up right now.
Yeah, we said that the wild turkey was vulnerable, but maybe it's not.
Are you saying you know what they are in each glass, pretty much, or you're not? Wow.
No, I have no idea.
So we're having like taste bud overload, and you're really having a hard time distinguishing the two of these bottles.
Correct.
Wow.
I mean, it's the fourth of the night.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
We are a little extra right now.
Are you shocked at how similar these are?
I am shocked. Wow, I really don't know which one to pick.
I had a feeling this is going to go this way.
Gabe.
At the end of a long night and having two extraordinary bottles to pick from.
You have been prescient this evening. I will say that I think the A tastes more like a rye. And if I'm right, B is the Lucky 7, and I don't think that tastes as good as I remember it tasting.
Ed has handed over his selection to me.
Fuck me.
I just sent. I mean, I'm telling you, it was 1A and 1B. Like they were so close. I just felt like there was like a 0.01% better in the one I chose.
I just got handed Scott's selection.
Yep.
I am opening him up. I am going to be drinking again.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Ed chose B. Scott chose A.
Yes.
B was Wild Turkey Rare Breed. A was a Lucky 7.
Oh, man.
I will be finishing this night. Here we go.
Overtime. And Ed has poured the final tasting for Gabe. Overtime in the matchup between
Wild Turkey, Rare Breed,
Yes.
and the Lucky 7 Holiday Toast, which I thought would be a slam dunk for the Holiday Toast, which it would have been, except, guess what? Newsflash, I voted for the fucking Wild Turkey.
Ed picked another rye.
Which I cannot believe. I don't know what's going on with him today. I don't know. Maybe I had a frontal lobotomy over the weekend. I don't know about. But
Ed, you might want to go to
Here's your
get
A, Gabe.
yourself checked out tomorrow. You're not feeling good.
and here's your B, Gabe. All right.
Oh, shit.
Pick whatever you want. I don't give an F anymore. I'm evidently useless.
This is why we do it. This is exactly the reason.
If he picks the Wild Turkey, I'm just going to like jump up and down. Like, yes, vindication. Because I think the Lucky 7 is delicious any other day of the week. But every other day, no. No, today I'm like, no. I don't know why. We should never do this again. We should make, like, rig it so I know what's happening.
This is how I felt after the barrel. I was like, why do we have a podcast?
Right.
All whiskey tastes the same.
It should be like 110 versus 90, so I know what I'm doing.
Well, this is great. Make sure you tune in next week for the finals of each round.
Right, we're just baking cupcakes.
And as
Bourbon cupcakes.
I'm nosing both of these. They're very, very nice.
Right?
The B is coming off just a bit sweeter, a bit heavier.
Okay.
I can see why this was a tough decision. They are very, very similar.
Aren't they, though? It's
I
crazy.
thought I had one picked up, and I put water in there, and now it's like,
Yep.
I can't decide.
Right. Exactly.
All right, going in for one more sip, and I'll make my decision.
All right.
And once again, during this lull, go on to the neatglass.com and buy a neat glass for yourself and enjoy what we're enjoying right now. If you put in whiskey tan, it's 10% off.
Blind me.
Okay. I'm going to say this one that I'm handing you right now is glass 1.
Okay. I'm closing my eyes because this is a tough decision.
It is really tough. I admit it was the toughest one since the last one.
Okay. And then I'm going to give you this one, and this one is glass 2.
Ooh,
Oh, we took a big sip there.
he's all in now.
They are just very, very similar. They are just neck and neck, same thing almost. Right? I'm going with the second glass you sent to me.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2 was A. Ed, which one was A?
Wild turkey.
Damn!
Just had a little bit more zing.
I looked at vindicated its number 1 ranking. It's going on in the next round.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that Lucky 7, man, my God, that's holding up its own and own.
Right?
The young upstart's really making a name for itself.
Wow, I mean,
that was tough. It really was.
There have been some astonishing finishes in the brackets. Both number 1s again are moving on.
But it's been close.
After a close decision
Yes.
between the two of them.
We thought the Lucky 7 might have a shot to win the
We
whole
did.
damn tournament.
We really did.
And it got beat by a mass-produced, very good wild turkey cast strength rye. It's over.
But let me bring this in. If that maybe was brought up as the first matchup tonight, could have been different.
It could have been.
With everything we tasted tonight, you could have had an altered taste.
I mean,
very possible.
Obviously,
absolutely.
we
It
went
was
through
very
quite a
close.
bit number of bottles tonight. And
Listen, if you would have served chicken instead of meatloaf, you might have chose Lucky 7.
Right.
So, Scott, what's our bracket for next week, please?
All right. So next week in round 3, we are going to have the bracket finals. In the 90 proof bracket, we have the number 1 seed, Eagle Rare, going against the number 2 seed, Bullet. 10-year.
Wow.
In the 100 proof bracket, we have the number 1 seed, Baker's Single Barrel, versus the Redemption High Rye, the number 3 seed.
Wow.
The 110 proof bracket, we have Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, the number 1 seed,
Unbelievable.
against the Old Ezra, number 7, the number 2 seed. And in the final 120 proof bracket, we have the Larceny Barrel Proof, also the number 1 seed, against the number 3 seed, the 1792 Full Proof.
Unbelievable. So what were we saying? All 4 number 1s have made through?
Yep.
So the selection committee evidently did a much better job. And for how tight the tasting was,
Yeah.
the selection committee, all 64 of them deserve an amazing trophy.
Keeps increasing.
it doubles every time.
All 128 of them.
I'm just kidding. We all know there's only
It's just me and Ed.
we know there's only 16.
And they told 2 friends and so on.
Right.
And so on.
So
Right.
the 4s roll out where they should be. We'll be back the next 2 weeks to figure out who's the champion. And we're having fun. If you're not having fun, then you're not drinking enough. I'll be honest with you. Because we're doing our part. I don't know what you're doing at home.
And if you can get a karaoke microphone, like Siobhan has, you're going to have a good time.
Right. Remember.
So, for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Scott.
And I am Ed.
I'm Gabe.
We will see you next week for round 3.
Awesome.
Just gonna take that. Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Yeah. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just fake it.